You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. And, of course, you have seen the title. Now, this video here, this is going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I'm going to just forewarn you. A lot of y'all are going to be triggered because of the things that I'm going to say in this video. Y'all know that this is going to be the politically correct rant. I'm going to push the envelope in this video as far as I can push it. But you have to know that I'm going to also visit this topic in the whole. But the major video that I'm going to deal with in the rabbit hole, this weekend's rabbit hole production, and many of you may have seen the footage. I believe it has since gone viral. There's a video clip of this white dude who had busted the lip and put a knot on the head of this queen. And I don't know where they were. It looks like they were at some store or something. I don't know. I couldn't really tell. The video footage is only like 3 minutes long. The clip is only 3 minutes long. But here comes the Negro. Here he comes. Set your watch to it. Fresh from a phone booth, his cape flapping in the breeze, in the tradition of underdog coming to rescue Sweet Polly purebred. Here come the Negro. And the Negro proceeds to confront the white guy for busting the lip of the black female and putting a knot on her head. So he slaps the white dude. White dude grabs a knife. Now, the white dude is in the car. The black guy is leaning into the car. The black woman is standing like on the sidewalk. And as I'm looking at this footage, man, I'm thinking to myself, you know, black men, they just don't get it, man. They just don't get it. They just don't get it, man. I mean, matter of fact, let me just let you know that this is what I'm going to address in the rabbit hole. I'm not going to even go no further than that. I gave y'all the parameters of which the video is going to deal with. I'm going to give you my commentary on this. I have a lot to say. And listen, let me tell y'all something. You brothers who are going to request this weekend's rabbit hole production, I'm asking you, I'm warning you, don't listen to this video around a female. I tell y'all this oftentimes when I know that it's going to be a scathing rebuke. And I know some of y'all are in relationships and y'all have girlfriends. And so I understand that. I feel that. So I'm just going to warn you. Don't listen to this video around her. If you listen to this weekend's rabbit hole production and she's around, you better put some earbuds in your ear. But you know what it is? Second nature like breathing. If you want this clip, and I'm going to give you my commentary, you know what it is? Second nature like breathing. Send me an email. And I'll most certainly get you the link. And you know, I thought I would deal with this because I've been seeing a lot of Negroes celebrating after the George Floyd verdict. I've seen videos of black folks, and then, you know, even black folks on social media, all over social media, they're just applauding. They're so happy. And many people got disturbed when I told them that this is not a day of celebration. This is a day of mourning. And they look surprised when I say that because they think that, well, wait a minute, man, you're not happy that a cop... No, listen, I've said this in many of my videos, and this is my position. If you're a black man in America and you look at how George Floyd lost his life, and that does not bother you as being a black man, then there's something wrong with you. And there's just no other way around that, man. There's something wrong with you if you can look at that brother dying the way he died and not be disturbed by that as being a black man. And see, this is the reason why the protests went international. It's because everybody personalized what they saw. And that got some of everybody out protesting. Now, if you want to deal with the aspect of his life, who he was, that's fair too. That's fair game. And because that's what I'm going to deal with in this video. And that's the reason why I'm saying it's a day of mourning, not a day of celebration. See, I'll put it to y'all like this. See, it's like in a football game. And I'm going to use my beloved 6-time Super Bowl champs, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to use them as an example. When Pittsburgh was suffering their losing streak, and you still had one Juju Smith-Schuster dancing on opposing team's logo before the games, that was problematic. It's problematic. Why? Dude, y'all losing. Y'all losing, guy. It's like getting blown out in a football game and then you score a touchdown and you start celebrating. No, you're still losing the game. So for the Negro to go out and celebrate the verdict in this George Floyd case as if they actually won something, no, you're still losing the game. This is not a day of celebration. This is a day of mourning. And the only ones who are going to be celebrating are the race hustlers. And y'all seem to believe that the race hustlers only exist on the side of, Al Sharpton and Messy Jackson. They are two of the biggest minstrels on that side. But listen, you also have race hustlers on the opposite side. That's all Candace Owens is. She's a race hustler. She's a one-trick pony. The same with Tommy Lauren. The same with Brandon Tatum. They're one-trick ponies. They're race hustlers. And whenever Sean Hannity wants to talk about Black Lives Matter, but he doesn't want to say it, he calls in Candace Owens. He calls in Tommy Lauren. He calls in Brandon Tatum. And he interviews them and let them say it. So therefore, if there's any backlash, all he has to say is, I didn't say it. Brandon Tatum said it. I was just interviewing him. I didn't say it. Candace Owens said that. I was just interviewing her. See, that's the trick. That's the game plan. And the reason why they use these race hustlers is because the race hustlers regurgitate what people are thinking but don't want to say. And they get paid very well for their duty. This is the reason why you can't get triggered by nothing none of these race hustlers say on any particular topic. That's their job to say that shit. These are the only individuals who outside of the family, and we dealt with that. We're talking about when you look at the total and you call the roll, the Trayvon Martin family, I believe they was somewhere around 1 million and counting. Michael Brown, what was that? I believe, don't quote me on this, it was either 5 million. You have Eric Garner, 5.9 million, and George Floyd family, $27 million. So the only people that's laughing and banking off of this situation is that family, those attorneys, and the race hustlers. It's payday for them. This is the reason why you can't really take what they say serious. And I know y'all wonder, okay, I get that, but You said it's a day of mourning. It is a day of mourning. It is my contention, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that what this day, what if events like this, what it highlights, and this is about to get tough, but what this highlights is just how lost this black race is. The black race is done. They're done. And events like this highlight just how they are teetering on that brink of extinction. Like nothing else exposes it but events like this. And I know y'all wonder, okay, but why do you say that? Well, okay, let's look at this. And this goes to the title of the video, where y'all take individuals and y'all paint angel wings on them. Now, regardless to what they've done in their life, regardless to, the actions they made, the mistakes they made, how their fuck-ups, as long as they defend black pathology and preach the doctrine of victimology to black people, y'all are willing to forgive that shit. And when they meet their demise, y'all paint angel wings on them. Y'all paint a halo on their head. And this is essentially what y'all done with George Floyd. Y'all done the same with Michael Brown. Y'all done the same, well, most certainly with Freddie Gray. And whose job is it to preach this to y'all? It's these two main minstrels. These two buck dancing, bow jangling, stepping fetchit minstrels who have been pimping black people for years. Al Sharpton, Messy Jackson. See, this is the reason why when y'all got mad at that woman with Black Lives Matter because she bought that mansion or bought that house. See, that's the reason why that wasn't on my radar. See, because if y'all should have tarred and feathered Messy Jackson and Al Sharpton years ago. Y'all should have took those two minstrels and tarred and feathered them and paraded them around every black community in heels and a mini skirt. That y'all should have done that to those two minstrels years ago. But yet and still, when you look at the verdict for George Floyd, who do we see present? Who's standing right there in the mix? Who's getting paid off of y'all's misery one more again? Al Sharpton and Messy Jackson. And if y'all aren't willing to castigate and to take these two minstrels out behind the woodshed and tar and feather these two minstrels, then y'all need to leave that woman alone. Hell, she ain't doing no more than what these two minstrels have been doing for years. It's their job. They're race hustlers. Whatever anything happens that pertains to race, here they come. Set your watch to it. And it's their job to preach the doctrine of victimology to black people. It's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. According to Messy Jackson and Al Sharpton, when you ask them, what do you think black people you can put at the doorstep of black America? What's their fault? And these two Negroes will stubborn. They're stuttered because they can't come up with anything. It's their job to take black America and wipe away all responsibility. It's not your fault. It's always, and particularly not just somebody, but mostly white people. So when you got a George Floyd, and again, like I said, don't leave no comment in my video because I already told you. As a black man, yes, it's disturbing to watch how that brother died. Yes, very disturbing. And for you black men on YouTube or on social media, bumping y'all's gums because y'all so dumb that y'all can't connect the dots. The reason why that's disturbing and should be disturbing to you as a black man is because you have to personalize it. Because at the end of the day, that could be you. Dummy. So we got that. We're going to take that and set that on the shelf. But now we got to be fair and balanced. Because what y'all have done is y'all taken this brother and y'all painted angel wings on him and placed a halo on his head. And the only reason why y'all placed a halo on his head and angel wings on his back is because he met his demise at the hands of a white cop. So since he met his demise at the hand of a white person or a white cop, all of a sudden he becomes angelic. So what if he takes dope? So what if he was high on dope? So what if he was trying to pass a counterfeit $20 bill? So what about India? So what if he's dating a white one? Who cares? He met his demise at the hands of a white person, or particularly a white cop. Therefore, let's get out the painting set. We're going to paint angel wings on this dude. We're going to paint a halo on his head. And you better not mention his past. Likewise, Freddie Gray. You listen, man. The reason why I call this a dark day for black people in black America, I mean, Google it. Don't take my words on nothing I'm telling you. All you have to do is go Google Freddie Gray Community Center or the Freddie Gray Empowerment Center. I think that's the proper name of it. These niggas went out and created a community center, a youth empowerment community center named after Freddie Gray, a dope dealer. I mean, you just got to let that sink in, man. Do you understand why I say black people are done? Do you understand why I'm telling y'all it's over, man? It is mind-boggling. It is completely and utterly mind-boggling that and listen, we know who it is who pushed that community center being named after Freddie Gray. We know who that was, don't we? It was old buck dancing, bojangling black preacher. Here you go. Mr. Jamal Bryant himself. Mr. Jamal Bryant, who impregnates a female in his congregation, lies about it only until the church says we want a DNA test done. Then he comes out and say, well, hell, maybe I did fucked up. I mean, hold on. Let me take a sip of this, man. Y'all. Oh, boy. Hold on. Y'all got me thinking I'm in the hole, man. Let me chill that out. That's too much for YouTube. But that was Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant, who now is in Atlanta. He's the one that headed up the community center for Freddie Gray. This dude, and listen, man, this ain't me saying he sold drugs. Everybody in that community knew he was a dope dealer. He was a dope dealer. And listen, don't come at me telling me, well, you just drugging up his past. No, I'm not dealing with his past because I told y'all. If he sold dope when I don't know how old he was when he died. Let's say he was 25 when he died. If he sold dope when he was 19, I don't care. I don't care. The only way what you've done in the past have any relevance to the present is if you're still doing it. The day that Freddie Gray died, he ran from those cops because he was selling dope. And y'all go out and erect a community center and name it after Freddie Gray, a known dope dealer. You Negroes have done to George Floyd. Go Google, don't take my words on it. Look up on Wikipedia. Look up George Floyd Square. Look it up. Don't take my words on nothing I'm telling you. Go look up on Wikipedia or Google George Floyd Square. He has a center named after him. You mean to tell me that you Negroes are taking George Floyd, you're taking Freddie Gray, and there could be others, and y'all placing them right alongside Dr. Martin Luther King. Why? Because in every metropolitan city, every major city, you go in, you're going to find a Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, street, avenue, alley, skid row. You're going to find that. You're going to find centers named after Dr. Martin Luther King, the Dr. Martin Luther King Nonviolent and Direct Action Community Center. You're going to find Martin Luther King Way, Martin Luther King Avenue. So y'all essentially have taken George Floyd and created George Floyd Square. Y'all have taken Freddie Gray and made Freddie Gray Community Center and Youth Empowerment Center. So y'all taking these two individuals and placed them alongside Martin Luther King, who y'all love so much. And then y'all have the unmitigated gall to question me when I tell y'all it's over for this race. It's over, man. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I mean, Hollywood screenwriters can't make this shit up, man. This is a travesty. And see, what's going to happen is we're going to have those of y'all who are on the short bus and mentally retarded who are going to confuse what happened to both of those brothers with the critique on what y'all done with their life because they died at the hands of white cops. Well, Freddie Gray wasn't all white cops. I believe, and don't quote, I think at least a couple of those officers, 3 or 4 of them were black. But this is what y'all do. And y'all have none other than those 2 minstrels, those 2 historical buck dancing, bojangling sellouts who don't give a damn about black people. Al Sharpton and Messy Jackson. Y'all have them to blame for them preaching this doctrine of victimology to y'all. Y'all have internalized the doctrine of victimology to the point y'all have become professional victims. And I told y'all, I've done videos on this. I told y'all, listen, Al and Jesse, they've been playing y'all for years, man. It's the same with the NAACP, and I've done videos on this. It's funny to me when I talk to black folk, and that's very seldom because I just don't have the time for y'all anymore. But, you know, that's a subject for another video. But when I talk to the Negroes, and the Negroes still believe that the NAACP is a black organization. And I chuckle when I hear that shit. Man, listen, the NAACP is not today, nor has it ever been, a black organization. When are you niggas going to wake up and realize that? The NAACP had only 2 of their original founders who were black. Du Bois and Ida B. Wells. That's it. And the fact that they still hand out the Joel Spingard Award, a medallion that they place around the neck of the recipient, I can go a lot of places with that, but I'm not going to go there here. Oh, no, I'm not going to deal with that here. No, we're going to have to deal with Joel Spingard in the hole. But yet, it's still the Negroes still think this is a black organization. And I explain to Negroes, listen. If you think the NAACP, because this is the same play that Al and Jesse runs with their organization, the National Action Network, Al Sharpton, and Operation Push, Messy Jackson. This is the same thing they do with their organization. They all run the same play. National Urban League runs this play. All of them. Let's say you work at YouTube. And you think YouTube is passing you over phrases, you think YouTube is discriminating against you, and so you go to the NAACP, you want them to look into it. Now, Let me back up. Let's back this up in a minute, because we got to deal with the Freedom Front dinner, which is the biggest shindig for the NAACP. This is the biggest shindig for them. This is the biggest money maker for them. So if you go to the NAACP's Freedom Front dinner, you're gonna notice white cops, white judges, prosecutors. You're gonna notice all the people that y'all thought, wait a minute, man, why are they here? This is a black organization. Y'all supposed to be speaking out on my behalf. Why are all them? What's up with this? So I'm gonna explain to you why that is. Now, fast forward. You work at YouTube. You go to NAACP. Hey, man, they passed me over for raises. They fucking me over, man. NAACP said we're gonna investigate. They're going to meet with YouTube. Hey, we got Buck Dancing Charlie over here who says that you discriminated against him. And as we done our fact finding, we found out that he may have some allegations. So we willing to sue, man, because this ain't right. This is discrimination. So YouTube is like, man, we don't want that, man. Hell, we don't. What can we do to squash this lawsuit, man? So NAACP says, well, listen, take out a life membership in the NAACP. See, we can't sue you then if you're a member of our organization. So YouTube say, hey, that sounds good. So YouTube pays because they got the money to pay it. They pay for a life membership. That does nothing for you. So now if you go to the NAACP Freedom Front dinner, knowing how YouTube has treated you, you're going to look up and see who? YouTube sitting up there. You'll be like, wait a minute, how's YouTube sitting here? And they discriminated against me. This organization is supposed to be speaking on my behalf. I went to them for help. But they're sitting here. How does that work? Because they're using you, Negro. It's the same play that Jesse runs. It's the same play that Al Charlatan runs. It's the same play that the National Urban League runs. They all run the same play. They benefit from your misery. And don't y'all get it? Damn, man, what y'all want from me? They don't care nothing about you. Al Charlatan and Messi Jackson is laughing, man. They crack it up because they can't believe y'all are this dumb. Y'all actually believe we care about y'all. It's the same on the other side now because you got those race hustlers over there. Now, you would have thought that Candace Owens would have woken up. You know, all the stuff that she says whenever there's a hot button racial issue, they go pull up Candace Owens, dust her off, prop her up, and ask her those softball questions. And she says everything that white people are thinking but are scared to say because they don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to be accused of being racist. So we don't even go down that road. So let's just let Candace say it, and we can just say we agree with Candace. But then when Candace Owens had her baby, and she posted on Instagram a picture of her child, what did they say about that baby? Now, this wasn't black folks, because black folks ain't following Candace Owens like this. These are white people who castigated her baby, who talked about her half-breed mongrel baby, trashed that baby. But see, Candace ain't going to wake up because Candace is getting paid good. So she going to take the picture down of her baby, say hey, that was a mistake, because she was dumb enough to actually believe they really like her. No, they just use you to say what they are thinking, but don't want to get the backlash for saying, especially in this climate that we living in now, this politically correct climate that we living in now, this cancel culture that we living in now. No, I ain't gonna dare say that shit. Get Candace Owens to say it, get that Brandon Tatum Coon to say it, or get that Tommy Lauren to say it. Now, before Tommy Lauren hit the scene, y'all remember now there was Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter was the first blonde bimbo that they would take and prop up, and she would say all the outlandish shit on race, and they would yuck. She preceded your Tommy Lauren, but then something happened to her. She hit that wall. So they had to find them a new one. So Russell out on the scene. So Tommy Lauren says all the outlandish, goofy shit on race that your Sean Hannity's, I would say Tucker Carlson, but Tucker Carlson just said. So I'm not going to necessarily say Tucker Carlson, but your Sean Hannity's, some of those other minstrels on Fox, they don't want to say it. They don't want the backlash. So they just get her on. Hey, look, I'm going to interview you. I'm going to throw you these softball questions, and let you say what we all thinking. You have it on the right, you have it on the left. Race hustlers. They are the only ones outside of the lawyers and the family for these fallen black men who are benefiting financially. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. As I told y'all, listen, man, it's sad to say. I know y'all don't like it, but your life, you have more value in death than you do in life. But the only way that life can have that kind of, the only way a George Floyd could be worth $27 million is if that cop put his knee on his neck. If that would have been man, if that had been, Gumball or 357, if that had been him, and they were the ones that were responsible for the death of George Floyd, $27 million, nigga, you better get out of here. You better get out of here. 27 my ass. No, the only way his life has that kind of value is if that life is taken by a white cop. Now let me stop. Let me wrap this up. Now, if you want that clip, you know what it is. Second Nature Like Britain, send me an email, and I'll get you the link. Because at the end of the day,